I'm wondering if you can maybe share with us a little bit more about other either internal tools or strategies that you've used along with your leadership team in terms of really evangelizing the message internally and kind of creating those stakeholders, creating those champions. And if you have any tips on winning over the CFO, I mean, in your case, you had a very forward-thinking CFO. That must have been an amazing day when he said, "Hey, we need more money for lightning strikes." That's not a phrase you hear very often. So, any tips or like I said, tools, resources, internal guidance on how to really have the whole company embrace this movement, this idea of category design?
Yeah, that's a great question and it's absolutely the right way to think about it, Gabby, because if your team isn't on board, if it's just something that your leaders care about or one department cares about, but it's not really ingrained in the way your company thinks, then it's going to fall short of its potential. I can share 3 or 4 things we did at BombBomb that I think would probably work well in other situations. Something we did early on, we did do you want to think about this as kind of like a drumbeat. You want to give people time to think about what this means, think about how they can contribute, how it might affect them. And so early on, we did a couple kind of all hands discussions to talk about why we were going down this path. What does it mean for us? Give people a chance to ask questions. So we did a couple sessions like that with just the whole team, very open conversations, really focusing on the opportunity and what's to be gained and how it's going to improve our odds of success. Another just very tactical thing we did, we said, hey, anyone who wants to read Play Bigger, put your name on a Google Sheet and we'll buy you a copy. So we bought almost 150 copies of Play Bigger and gave everyone the chance to read that. We also have a category design task force that now we meet once a month. We used to meet every couple of weeks, but it's got leaders from product design, engineering, sales, CS, just a very cross-departmental kind of group to help shape our thinking. That was the group that helped define digital pollution and human-centered communication, and has really been kind of leading those efforts across departments. So it's not just one department overly influencing what's happening. It's something we're working on together. We also do Friday updates to our team that come from our president, and we've been using those to have discussions around human-centered communication and digital pollution. One of the challenges we found early on was we really liked the ideas behind human-centered communication, and like I mentioned earlier, when we sat down and talked about it, we started to take longer than we'd like, or our phrasing wasn't as elegant, and maybe there were some points that we needed to add to kind of round out that message. And so we had all of our departments have discussions with their own teams about those two concepts, and we asked them, like, what's the most difficult thing to describe? Like, what's most confusing to people when you bring up these concepts? What do you think's missing? Do you think that we're off in these ideas? And we were able to get lots of feedback on how to improve that messaging and just give people a chance to practice that messaging in a kind of a low stakes situation. So there's some other things we're doing, but those are 3 or 4 ideas to start with.